Everybody, welcome back. Red Badge of Courage by GMT Games, designed by the original game designs Richard Berg. This one's Roger McGowan. Um, Doing first bull run, and just finished the 1800 turn. And man, how quickly things can turn around. I still don't think the Union can do it, but I don't know. They're left over. Let me look at my. I wish I could memorize things better. All this division right here is now ineffective. So the max are going to be able to get two activations. Um, and I really probably ought to consider getting the collapsed brigades across the bridge to the other side. Um, they're really spread out. I'm going to be changing their orders. They're no longer in any condition to attack. Um, the only thing they got going for them is artillery. And I know the rules say that artillery isn't affected by the ineffectiveness of the division, but I don't, and its artillery can be lethal close in. So honestly, what I've run into is the artillery can sit there when the division's going and just pound on the opposition. And I can't get close to them. It's very difficult because they get within range, and then big +3 modifiers come in. Next thing you know, your infantry's wasted. So I'm not sure I'm going to adhere completely to that rule. I think I might just have them withdraw a little bit. There may be a rule in there keeping that from happening too. I know you're not allowed to run your guns into within a certain amount of range. So I think I'm going to pretty well call it the same way. If you don't have infantry support, your artillery's got to pull back to where it does have infantry support. So that's probably going to come up this turn. Jackson managed to stabilize. I don't see the Union at all. I mean, let's face it, Sherman's out. He got either injured or killed. And he's only got a couple of units left that are combat effective, so he's not going to be putting pressure on this anymore. So I'll probably have probably leave Jackson, but to do that, I'm going to have to leave that hex. And it all depends how chits pull out. I probably have Holmes try to exploit that. There's only 2 turns left. I can't see him getting up here and taking them. But with the division ineffective, that changes things a lot. And over in the center, Koch and Kershaw both started advancing a little bit to put pressure on him. Evans held his own in the center, knocked keep forgetting his name, Schenck. Yes, Schenck, out of fighting condition, and also finished off Burnside pretty much. Burnside is one regiment away from Burnside's one regiment away from being ineffective, and if he goes ineffective, this whole division here becomes ineffective, and basically they're ineffective as it is now. This is their last standing group right here. These got disorganized and had to retreat. I may try to reorganize them a little bit and get a little bit more strength points in each one, but the artillery, I can't leave the artillery just sitting out front like this. Yes, I could, and they'll pound the crap out of the Confederacy, but realistically, you wouldn't leave a couple of guns there with all your division collapsed behind you. They're in bad shape. So they haven't routed, but they're not really a cohesive unit, and one pushed by the Confederacy, and they're gone. Now, this is all that's really left of Porter right here, these 2 hexes. Even Wilcox and leaders, Hunter's down, Porter's down, Wilcox is down. There's a lot of down. They lost a lot of leaders here lately. Howard down here actually made a nice push and is threatening to push on this spot right here. Now Early's in here, so Early may have something to say about that. I've got a smattering of Barlow mixed in between, and I really got to try to sort this out, get it a little bit more organized. I don't like having guys forward like this, but there you have it. They are. So hopefully I can get some chip pools to get them organized before some bad things start happening. Early may not be able to hold them off. So if they get this, they won't have five of the VPs, and the Confederates definitely aren't going to threaten Groveton again. So they've got to hold on for dear life for these two that they have. Again, down here, this one, yeah, the Cav could swoop around, but the cavalry can't hold a VP in this, so that's not going to happen. And I'm definitely not just going to stick somebody on march orders and rush them down there, because first off, they'd have to come the long way. And then second off, I would just follow suit and put the cavalry down there, even though they are falling apart real quick, which I'll get to in a second. They'd have to get them out of the way to move there, so that's just not going to happen. And realistically, I wouldn't throw a brigade out on their own like that anyway. So Smith, Bartow, they're starting to show low quality, and that's a problem, because that's my left, and not mine, but the Confederate left. And they've got attack orders on, and I'm definitely going to keep them on, because both of those pushed hard this last turn. And the cavalry, for all the good they did up over here, just completely fell apart the last turn, and the dice and the draws just didn't go their way. And now there's let me see here. Nope, that's Union. Three of their units are gone, all small ones, but still three nonetheless. And then one of Jackson's is gone. And the Unions have only completely lost two of their regiments yet, or it's partial regiments. Some of these regiments in this game, they broke into. I'm still counting them as one regiment, because it's just too much to try to keep track. I mean, two regiments. If there's an A and B, I'll count it as two. When it comes to brigade ineffective and stuff, because it's just very difficult to try to keep track of where A and B are on the field, whether they're both in there, whether they're both out. If they're stacked together, they get the same roll as per the rules. If they aren't, they don't. Cav's holding on, but I'm probably just going to keep withdrawing them. I may keep if it all depends how Chits pull. Chits really, especially last turn, I didn't think the Confederacy had any opposition left, and all of a sudden this whole complete left could fail, depending on how the Chits pull, because you get a couple of good pulls in a row, and the other team doesn't have, the other side doesn't have time to remove disorders and regroup and kind of put some disorders on the enemy. Then one side or the other can roll, and the Confederates were fortunate for a while. They were getting the benefit of that. Well, last turn they didn't, and it's getting a little hairy here. Which is why they probably need to start putting pressure on this ineffective group over here. So There you have it. A lot turned in the last turn. I really couldn't tell you who's going to win at this point because it's not clear cut. There's 2 turns left, and we're going to find out how it goes. I really do like this system. Like I said, I keep looking at the rules, and I may be missing some. I'm still learning all these, but the artillery, it doesn't count towards the collapse, and it doesn't count towards a movement on the chits that they pull. So artillery can be quite lethal. I do think I'm going to have to. I mean, I could just leave them stand here, and there's a good chance that nobody will be able to touch them because these 6 guns, once they get in close within 3 hexes, the positive modifiers come in, and infantry just takes a beating. And I could honestly just stand them here with no infantry support and probably stand there for the rest of the game and without being budged. So realistically, I don't think I'm going to do that because I know they wouldn't do that, though there are incidents where they did do it. So I don't know. I'm torn on how I want to handle that one. You look at some of the artillery stands like in the Antietam, etc., and yeah, I mean, it can happen. So anyway, there you have it. We'll see how the chits pull next turn because I really can't predict which way this one's going at all. And like quite enjoyable, very enjoyable. I do like this system, and I'll be getting more of it. I'm sure of it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. This is Red Badge of Courage by GMT Games, designed by the original game designed by Richard Berg. This one by Roger McGowan. You all have a good night. Thanks for joining me.